they loved your talk. Thank you. And then she said, this was my students in grammar school. And I was really quite, whoa, that is just so.
Congratulations, take a bow, my dear. That's great. Hey, Susan.
Hi, Rosa, how are you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Yeah, good. It's warmer now, thankfully. Not as cold as you, but it's a bit warmer for us.
Yeah. So what's new with you? What's going on?
I had a lovely message from a friend of mine the other day. I'll read it to you, shall I? Let me
Yes,
find it. I do have it
please.
out ready. Um, I belong to something called Swindon Speakers Club, and on in that we do something called topics. So you do an impromptu speech for 3 minutes. So you're given a topic and you have to literally stand up and go splurge. I love doing those. I don't know why, because sometimes they can be quite, oh my God, what am I going to say? But anyway, uh, B sent me this message. She went, hi, Susan. Just to thank you for recording your talks. I used the train talk to show how to do a talk, how to make it interesting, etc. They loved your talk. Thank you. And then she said, this was my students in grammar school. And I was really quite, whoa, that is just so.
Congratulations, take a bow, my dear. That's great. Do
Yeah.
the royal one.
Oh, goodness. So yeah, I must confess, I was thinking train talk. Okay, because with a topic, literally, it's impromptu. So you're given a subject, and then you have to start speaking about it. Um, so
So first of
I
all, let's take a step back. Tell me first
okay,
of all how you found the Swindon Speaker Club. What is its purpose? Like, is it to help you to bring out your confidence? Is it like talk a bit about that because I you can enlighten me a little bit here today.
okay. Swindon Speakers Club is a member of the national organisation of Association of Speakers Clubs. Um, Basically, back in yeah, it was after COVID 2020, 2021. I wasn't going to any networking groups because obviously they all stopped through 2020. And I didn't really want to start going back to some of them, these groups. And I said to a friend of mine, Julie, what do you go? Do you go to anything interesting? And she said, yes, I go to Swindon Speakers Club. And interestingly, even though they used to be based in Swindon, they've actually moved their meeting place to 5 minutes down the road from me here.
That's amazing.
So I couldn't not try it, if that makes sense. It's a club but for people to practice speaking or learn speaking skills. And there's some very experienced speakers in the group that are so supportive and they give you advice. And basically, I've got a book here that's called The Speaker's Guide, and you work through the speeches.
So who started this club and for
Uh,
what purpose? Like I'm assuming it's somebody who is a professional speaker who came up with
I
the idea.
really, I really don't know, to be fair. I really don't know.
Okay, that's interesting.
It might be worth looking it up, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, so, but it is actually to help people learn how to speak better. If you've got to say it in your job, stand up and make a speech about what you've done, people get very nervous. And so it really is to help people to stand up in front of a small group of people that are on your side, that are supporting you, are rooting for you. We've got one speaker in the group. He's had some amazing life. I can't think of the right word, But he comes out with these stories of what he's done in Africa, and it's just incredible listening to him. And some of these experienced speakers, they can literally stand up and speak off the top of their head for 8 minutes. We get people that come and go, to be fair, come because they've got to learn how to speak for their job, or they want to have more confidence in speaking. And then there's ones like me who just wanted somewhere to go different to the other
Gives you a
network.
reason to socialize. Yeah, exactly.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy actually speaking. Uh, to begin with, I was sort of, do I really want to be doing this? But as time's gone on, I've been going there for about 3 or 4 years, and I really feel part of it now. And I can
And
encourage,
it see what happened? It gave you the confidence. Now you actually have the confidence that you were supposed to gain in that course. So you can say you have
yeah.
achieved one of their objectives, I guess.
I'm on my last one of the 10 speeches that
Okay,
I
so
need to
in the
do.
book it said there's 10 speeches that it dictates that you have to do.
Yes. Oh,
Ah,
in
okay, so
order. Yeah.
tell us what the 10 are.
Oh, I'll open the book. As
Okay.
I say, the first one, like I said just a moment ago,
Is introduce
is
yourself, you
to
said, right?
introduce yourself. Let me
Okay.
just find it. Yes, the first one is starting your journey. Um, the next one is constructing a speech. So then you talk about the beginning, the middle, and the end of the
Oh,
speech.
okay. Okay.
Uh, the next one is speaking with conviction.
Okay.
So learning how to actually put over
Okay,
your
so
point.
it's like almost like a debate, not a debating club, but trying to get somebody to understand, like to come your way, sway them a
Yeah,
little. Yeah.
that
Okay.
would be that one.
Okay.
Then the next one is using gestures and body language.
Ah, that would be
So
interesting because some
yeah.
people use their hands too much and see some people don't use it at all.
Yes,
Okay.
that's right. And then the next one, the fifth one, is using your voice. So making it quiet, having pauses, being louder, and these sort of things. And
Interesting.
that is really quite, yeah, interesting. And then there's the next series of speeches, which starts off with vocabulary and word pictures. So describing things, expanding your speech to actually bring in descriptive words, and as it says, vocabulary. Uh, then the next one is storytelling and narrative.
Okay.
Um, Let me see what's next. Oh, using humor.
Okay.
Using humor.
Okay.
Oh, yes. And then the next one is developing audience rapport. So, yeah,
Ah,
drawing in the audience into your
yes. Yes.
story.
Yes.
And the last one is what they call the showpiece. And that literally is bringing all of those 9 skills that we've just talked about into one speech.
In
Yes,
each of
yes.
these speeches, you decide what the topic's going to be, though, right?
I decide what it's about. I mean, I could go back and tell you what I literally talked about in each one of them.
Yeah.
Where are we? Let me look. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, yeah. The first one, starting your journey, the 3 phases of my life. And I then
Okay.
talked about
Okay.
literally the first phase is the youth, um, the virgin, and then the second phase is the mother, the pussycat.
Phoebe's
The
interested.
she is, isn't she? Yeah, the second phase is the mother, the carer, the responsible one. The third phase of your life, I actually started this one with saying that I am a crone, a hag, a witch. I talked about somebody I used to know called Jenny. Um, I kept my horses with hers, and I actually entitled this one Jenny's Wayward Ponies
Ah,
because I kept getting into trouble things that her ponies had got up to, and I ended up putting them back in the field, and then I got told off, or somebody going by went, "Look out, keep your ponies under control," and it wasn't my pony. Speaking with conviction, I talked. It was called Shoes, and I actually talked about uh, whether we should put shoes on horses or not, and why.
Okay, for a second there, I was talking, thinking shoes, going, shoes, like the
Shoes.
ones on our feet.
No, this is to do with horses. You should have guessed it was to do with
Okay.
horses. Come on. Using gestures and body language. And I talked about
Your tree.
my tree. Briefly, when I was 9 years old, I picked up a branch. We went on a school walk along the brook, and they were trimming the trees, and I picked up a branch of a tree. And the man there said, "That is a poplar tree." I took this branch home, I put it in a milk bottle, it grew roots. I planted it in my parents' garden, and it grew and it grew and it grew and it
Okay,
grew.
okay, so you had lots of gestures.
Exactly.
Okay, the
So,
next the speech you gave.
uh, oh, I know what that one was. It says frequently asked questions, and I'm going, what's that one about? Uh, I know what it was about. Within the home ed community, I home educated my son, as you know. In the home ed community, we were always being asked the same questions. I mean, I started home educating Simon 24 years ago. And even now, these same questions come up. And the usual ones are, is it legal? How do they socialize? I
Okay,
can't think of
yeah.
any more at the moment, but these questions keep coming up. Are you a teacher? And things like that.
What was that related to what lesson you were kind of learning?
Uh, Using your voice.
Ah, okay, okay, interesting. Okay. Then
So,
after that one, what did you talk about?
um, vocabulary and word pictures. I've got to Gable End Farm and beyond. So I spoke about my journey through being self-employed
Okay,
and
very good.
different
And
elements of it.
buying the property and the whole thing and lots to describe there, which is great.
Yes, yes. And then the next one is, oh, storytelling and narrative.
Okay, what
And
did you do for that?
this one is called Robert. And I literally started with saying that back in the early 1800s, two brothers came from Derbyshire down to Swindon to work in the railway works. One of these brothers went back to Derbyshire, but the other one stayed in Swindon. His youngest son was called Robert. And then I talked about Robert's son, who was Robert. And then second Robert's son was called Robert. And the third Robert's son was called Robert. And this went five
So you have
generations.
Robert Jr. Then what do you call the other two guys?
When I finish the story and I tell a little bit of story about each of them,
Yeah,
I then go back and say, so how does this relate to me? Well,
yeah.
their surname was Warclate.
Oh, so they were all re were they related to you?
The second Robert was my grandfather.
Ah, okay.
The third Robert was my Uncle Bob.
Okay.
The fourth Robert was my cousin Bobby, who is now
Okay.
in Australia.
Okay.
And the fifth Robert was Robert Jr., who is also in Australia. So, and then I finish with my Robert Jr.'s wife flatly refused to allow him to call their firstborn daughter Roberta.
Oh,
So
that's hilarious. That was a good storytelling thing you did there.
that's what I thought. It just felt,
It's very
and when,
interesting. Okay.
but when you know the story anyway, it's easier to tell the story.
See, it could
Does that
also
make
be
sense?
used for drawing people in.
Yes, because they
Okay.
didn't know who I was. I was just saying Robert this, and then the
Yeah.
next, and
Yeah.
actually there was a bit of humor in it because I would then say, and they called their first son Robert. And there was
Yeah.
a bit of a
Yeah,
giggle
yeah,
sort
yeah.
of in it, you know,
Yeah.
which was quite good. I didn't expect it to be humorous in that way, but it was.
Yeah, okay.
The next one, oh, this one. I wasn't sure. I was telling somebody in the group about the problem I was having indoors here. This was a couple of years back with rats getting in here, and it was
Oh, okay.
horrendous. And
Yeah.
it's oh, because I live in the mobile home and I got wooden floors, so they were chewing up through the wooden floors, and it was real bit of a fight that I had going on. And he went, "Oh, that can be your next speech, your humorous speech."
How would he think rats were humorous?
So actually, within by the following meeting, which was 2 weeks later, I had actually put together a speech called Cats, Rats, and Trap. The next one, which was developing audience rapport,
Yeah.
it was called 20th of June.
Okay.
And this was last year. I said this one, 20th of June, 2024. I actually said the speech on the 19th of June. And I
Was
actually
this about
deliberately,
Simon's wedding?
well, I'll go back to the beginning actually. I started with saying that 100 years ago tomorrow, my father was born.
Ah, okay.
So I then talked about his life because my parents were married on the 20th of June.
Yeah,
And
okay.
then finally, um, Simon and Jessica, the year before, got married
That's
on the
interesting
20th
because
of June.
I obviously knew about Simon and Jessica
And
being
Jessica,
married, and I
mm,
just assumed it was you had mentioned to me in the past about it's the solstice, and
so,
that
yeah,
was the time they wanted to, be married on the solstice. But I didn't
yeah,
know about your father being born on that day, or that's interesting,
yeah,
or that he got married on that day.
yeah.
It's very
And
interesting. Not many people, I guess, get married on their birthday, do
I don't know.
they? Eh,
I can't,
food
no,
for
I
thought.
don't know.
After
Well, the
that one.
last one, which I
Okay, so
haven't
that was
done
the
yet,
last one so number 9 is the last one that you did that you got
that
this kudos for.
no, no, no. The kudos was for a topic. I'll tell you
Ah,
about them in a minute.
if you once you've done it, how do you know it's 8 minutes? Do you practice it like enough times? You got a stopwatch. You use your phone stopwatch, and then you try it, and you see that you got 8 minutes.
I'll tell you what I do. On my laptop here, which is an Apple Mac, as you know, there's one item called photo booth. And what I do is I go into photo booth and I hit video and then I hit record and then I do the speech and then
Okay.
I listen back to it.
Ah,
And I
okay.
can
And
then
then
say,
you see how
okay,
long it was on your recorded thing. Okay, good,
yes.
good, good, good thoughts, Susan. See, I would have used the stopwatch.
All right.
Okay, now
Yeah.
tell me about your last speech that you did, and then tell me about the one you got the kudos for.
Oh, okay. The last speech that I haven't done, well, I have done it once, but that was as a practice.
Okay,
Um, I what we need, each of the speeches are evaluated by one of the members of the team, the group.
okay,
So they will then stand up and do an evaluation of your speech, saying that
okay.
this bit was good, this could be improved on, that type of thing. So to give
Gotcha.
you encouragement, but also some learning points.
Okay,
And so that can be any member of the club who is at a higher level than your speech is.
got you.
However, to do the last speech, we have to have somebody come in from a different club to do the evaluation. So that's something that we've got to get organized. But I did present it um October time, I think it was, and it was called nitrogen, which happens to be my favorite element on the periodic table. I know that sounds weird, doesn't it? Oh my
Yes,
God.
it does, because nitrogen is interesting as as a gas.
Yeah.
And so now tell me about how you got the kudos for which one.
Okay. One of the other, so the structure of the evening is that in the beginning, there's usually up to three prescribed speeches. So one of the ones out of the book, or somebody stands up and does just a speech. Um, but then we have a coffee break. We then have evaluations of the speeches that were done before the coffee break. And then we've got a topics master. And the topics master uh, chair will then, they devise different topics. And um, each person then in the room gets 3 minutes to talk on one of these topics. And so they've devised something, they've written something down on a bit of paper. It can be anything, absolutely anything. Some of the topics are really quite, oh my gosh, what am I going to talk about?
Okay.
And but this particular, and so you've got up to 3 minutes to talk
Okay.
about this topic that literally you take a piece of paper out that they've written on, or they tell you what the topic is, that what the title of the subject is, and you have no time at all to think about it. You walk up to the lectern and then talk, sort
Okay,
of thing.
so let me tell you, has anybody actually done this? Because this would be me. I know nothing about this topic. So the one that you got the kudos for was one of those 3-minute jobs,
Yes.
and somebody
And
wrote what on the paper?
I think it was about travel.
Okay.
I can't honestly remember the title of
I
it.
wish I would get that topic. I could talk on that one. No
You
problem.
could, couldn't you? Talk forever on it. I started literally by saying, when I was little, we went everywhere by train because my father worked for the railways. So we had free train travel and we
Okay.
went everywhere by train.
Okay.
And then I expanded on the train travel, and when I was a student going down to college on the train, by the time I was a student, the level that my father was at in the railways, I actually had first class travel, which was really quite amusing when you go into a first class compartment as a student
Yes.
and everyone peers over their newspaper at you, and then they
Yes.
wait for the ticket collector to come round and they're watching for you to get kicked out. We used to travel first class by train. We went down to the south of France. I went down twice to the south of France to stay with my French friend, traveling first class. And as a family, we went on holiday. We went on first class couchettes down through France, down to northern Spain
Yeah.
on a free pass, train
Yeah.
travel.
Yeah.
So say we went everywhere by train. The way I finished that speech is I don't travel by train anymore because not only do I have to pay for it, I have to travel second class.
Yes.